All right, we look at the other rule. The rule that we are looking at is going to be rule number 2, which we call the quotient rule. The rule that we're looking at is called the quotient rule, and we shall see what happens under quotient rule. The quotient rule. Okay. Yeah, we look at quotient rule. The quotient rule, this one looks at division. What happens when you divide numbers with the same base but different powers? What happens? We subtract. We subtract the powers. We subtract the exponents. The quotient rule says if you divide same numbers with the same base, we subtract the powers. All right, an example could be, let's say A to the power B divided by A to the power C. This will be A, B minus C. This is how we shall get the answer. Okay, another example could be, these are examples. Another example could be, let's say we have 4a to the power, 4a to the power 6. 4a to the power 6 divided by 2a to the power 2. Guess what happens? These normal numbers, they will divide each other. So 4 divided by 2, you get a 2. Then the letters, they will be 6 minus 2. So the final answer here becomes 2a to the power 4. All right, we shall see these questions, or let's try out this question. Simplify. When we simplify, we simply need the answers. So, which simply means we are going to have this 4.1. When you look at 5 to the power 8 divided by 5 to the power 3, this is written as 5 to the power 8 divided by 5 to the power 3. But then since we are dividing quotient, what happens? We have to remain with our base, which is 5, and 8 minus 3. So the final answer becomes 5 to the power 5. 5 to the power 5, which could be in actual sense 5 to the power 5. 5 to the power 5 gives you the answer as 3,125. So this is the answer to question number 1.4. Okay, let's look at that and we see. Question number 4.2. We are looking at those solutions there. 4.2. We have a lot of them, but they all have the same base. So what we're going to do, first and foremost, these are combinations. The one on top, we have to first look, we're going to use law number 1, which says when you're multiplying bases, you add the powers. Okay, law number 1 is going to be, it's our 4, the one on top, the 3, this 3 here, plus the 4, this 4 here, plus 1, there's a 1 here. So, over 4 to the power 5. Now, when you do this, this will become 4 to the power. When you add everything up here, you have 8 divided by 4 to the power 5. Remember, I told you this is the same as 4 to the power 8 divided by 4 to to the power 5. Since you're dividing, the power subtract, which becomes 4 to the power 8 minus 5. So your final answer becomes 4 to the power 3. 4 to the power 3 gives you an answer as 60. 4 to the power 3 gives you an answer as 60 what? 64. 4 to the power 3 gives you the answer as 64. So our final answer here is 64. But when you look at this, we had to look at the rules. This was a combination. 2 rules in 1. We look at 4.3. This is 4.3. This is the same as, 6 to the power 8 divided by 6 to the power 8. This one will give you 1. Why? It's 6, 8 minus 8. We shall see. This gives you 6 to the power 0. And any number to the power 0, we have the answer as 1. Even a mere looking at this, since these ones are the same, they cross out, and the answer becomes 1. Okay, 4.4. We have A. Let me create some space here. We have a to the power 7 divided by a to the power 4. A to the power 7 divided by a to the power 4. What do they want us to do? They want us to get the answer. So remember, this is the same as the one on top divided by the one below. So this becomes a 7 minus 4, and it's a to the power 3. This is your final answer. We look at 1.4. Sorry, 1.3. 1.3 says, actually, this one also gives you 1 because they're the same. The answer becomes 1. Okay, we have we look at this. Now, this one we have x squared y 5 divided by x squared. So this is the same as x squared y 5 divided by x what squared. Remember, we subtract same bases. So this x was 2 minus 2, then y. So our x will become to the power 0, y 5. The answer becomes 1 y to the power 5. So this is the answer. We are looking at what we call the quotient rule. When we divide bases, when we divide same bases with different powers, what do we do? Okay. Let's continue. We look at some answers, sorry, some similar questions. Simplify. We need to come up with the answer. Now, when you take note now, here we have a combination of numbers and letters. So here this will be 9 divided by 3 becomes 3. Then the B, 8 minus 3. So the answer here becomes 3B, 5. Clear? There we go. 5.2. We are looking at the same. So I would advise you when you look at this, just what has to come in your head, the quotient. It's the quotient. It's the quotient rule. Rule number 2. Quotient rule. So you're dividing. So just look up here and say, actually, you could do this. Let me do this. I'll show you what we mean by that. X times x times x goes x to the power 3, then times y times y times y times y. Now that's the one on top. I've expanded. I will also need to expand the one which is down. So x times x times y times y. Guess what happens? Numbers that are on top and they are the same as down, they cancel each other. So we have 1 goes with that. This will go with that. How many x's do you remain with? You remain with x. Then the y goes with the y. The y goes with the y. How many y's are you remaining with? 2, but they're multiplying each other. That means the answer becomes y squared. Y squared. I could also illustrate it with 5.1. Let me show you. It's 9 times b times b times b times b times b times b. There have to be 8 of them. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 times b over 3 times b times b times b. So the ones on top, they cancel each other. So here, because they're the same, this goes with that. That goes with that. And this goes with this. How many b's are we remaining with? We have 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. You see that? Then the 9 cancels with 3. 9 divided by 3 remain with 3. So we have 3b to the power 5. You see that? That's how we do it. We look at 5.3. Question number 5.3. Let's look at that. 5.3, it has now for expansion will work, but because it makes the number too big, it's fine. In your head, you should know what you're doing. So we have that 16 divided by 4a to the power 4b. So now 16 divided by 16, we have 4. The a down, the a up has a bigger number. So it will be a 7 minus 4 times the b on top minus the b on down. These have the same. So here we remain with a 4a to the power 3, b to the power 0. Remember, each number or a letter divided to the power 0, you get a 1. So this is our 1. So the answer here becomes 4a cubed. That is the answer. We look at 5.4. Let's look at 5.4. Let's try it out. I would advise you to try out these questions before. You can pause and you try it out before you look at the answer. Then afterwards, you check the answer. Okay, we look at 5.4. I'm looking at question number 5.4, this one here. We have x squared, y 5 times x cubed over x squared. I'm here looking at this is x squared down. They are multiplying. There's x squared here. So this will go with that. So what do you remain with? You remain with y5 x cubed. This is the answer. Okay, we are looking at what we call the quotient rule. Quotient rule, it's the division rule. What happens to the powers when you're dividing same bases? Okay, this is another rule.